These are all the guitars I made. All right, these two are like regular guitars I made as a kit, and then this was a body that was more of a scratch-built body, but there's 4 planks of wood, and all these are made out of skateboards. What happened was I'm a drummer. I played drums. My brother was the guitar player, and he passed away. They're like, "You like want all this stuff?" And I'm like, "Yes, all of it." So I go and foot pedals, all kinds of stuff like that. Well, I inherited. There was 2 guitar necks in there. There was a bass neck, that bass neck there, and this guitar neck here, and this body was in there, and there's a bass body. It's a P bass though, and so I just like COVID hit. COVID was just about to hit, and I inherited this. Well, like get the guitar necks, and I like to build shit. So right away, I'm like, I'll help. I've helped him build a guitar, helped wire one up for him before, but I'm like, let's build a guitar, So I looked online at how much bodies were in there. Weren't that bad for you can get $50, you can get you a body. You can spend a lot more than that, but you can get that. So I'm like, let's order a body and build a guitar. Well, I never really wanted to play guitar. I think the reason I figured out the other day was I didn't want it to be a competition with my brother, so I just played the drums, And then we were in a band later on in life, but I think that's why I wasn't even interested in the guitar, But so I went to go build a guitar. Well, out of the blue, I had my boards were laying everywhere. I quit skateboarding already. I'm 57 years old. I had to quit like I was 48 or something. So I had these skateboards laying around, long boards. I had these short boards, your ollie boards and stuff. They're all around, busted up ones and stuff. So I just had the idea. I go, I could use a skateboard to make a guitar. So I looked on YouTube. Not a whole lot on it, but it has been done. So I'm like, okay. So I just started coming up, and I had a way to do it in my head. Let's do it. First body, I actually had a neck on it and used it and stuff, but this one didn't survive, and it ended up being a test body for hydro dipping and painting and all kinds of stuff. It's like 3 boards in that son of a bitch, but that was the first one, and this is the second one. Acoustasonic is where I got the inspiration for this. That's why you see the little hole and everything. And it used to play. It's a wall art now. I just have it hanging on the wall now. But it played. It was an arch top. I got the tailpiece and stuff for it, and it has this floating bridge. But I started getting into hydro dipping spray cans, and I did this paint job. This was, like I said, inspired by the Fender Acoustasonic Stratocaster. And I used to have vibration pickup in it, and then 2 single coils. The vibration pickup didn't work real well because it doesn't vibrate that much, like a acoustic would or something. But it sounded okay. You could hear it better than you can hear an electric playing acoustically. But it ended up just being wall art, 21 frets and everything. But this one was, I haven't built another one like this. I wouldn't mind it, but I actually sanded this top was a board, and then the back is a board, Now the edge is just like this thick all the way around. Well, this one it was hard to build. It took a little more, but so there's that one. I built one. I gave one to a friend. I built, what is that, 7 or 8? Here's my PRS kit I built. Hydro dip paint job. I dipped that, and it's kind of like, it was kind of hard gluing the neck on. I mean, there's nothing to do on these kits. You don't build shit. You put it together. You glue a neck on, and that's it. Really, all the holes are already done. So then you just install everything. So I've refinished this one twice to come up with this paint job, which actually I was happy with. Did some kind of roasting on the neck. That probably wasn't a good idea, but it feels great. I like it anyway. But locking tuners. It's got Epiphone pickups. Was fun, PRS style. And this one here is a jazz. This was a P bass, and I decided to build a guitar out of it, so I cut the body all up. It was real big, and I cut this funky shape out, Well, ended up going with a Moss Right tremolo setup and bridge and tremolo to Jazzmaster. I got 2 P90s or Jazzmaster pickups, and I put the humbucker in. So when you switch This switch, you know, when you're up here, you're on the three-way switch and the volume and tone right here. When you switch the switch down, you're on the volume and tone here, and it's the humbucker. So I have like a rhythm source just to the humbucker. So it's set up a lot like they are, but I put 500K pot and stuff in there, 47s, you know. But so there's my Jazzmaster. Come with this neck was used. Oh, I had this neck too. There's another neck I had. I had several necks, and it had holes in it. It had been put on a guitar before. I think my brother had replaced it. A Stratocaster neck. I mean a Telecaster neck, and you know, so I should change the shape of the head and everything. There's the two kind of like regular guitars. Then I built my. I don't have my amp out here, so I'll do the sound checks when I'll go in and do the sound checks and edit them in, you know, or whatever. But this is my, you know, a Telecaster. I call it a skatecaster. It's got one giant longboard and then another board in it is in the middle. This was a giant longboard. I mean, look how wide it is. It's wider than most skateboards. It's cut in half, stacked on each other, and screwed together. It's actually hollow in this area. You can see through here and see it's hollow in this area, but it's pretty solid everywhere else. 5 screw neck. Yeah, they're not bolted on. Until someone sinks a lag bolt into their fretboard, these some bitches are screwed on with wood screws. But I guess it doesn't sound manly enough, so they say it's bolted. I'm like, well, no bolts were used. But string through, got one low, like always something, huh? This thing, twangy, it's twangy. This pickup's a little muddy, but it sounds, I love to play this one, it sounds great. And there it is. Weighs 7 pounds. This neck was supposed to go on that body right there. Me and my brother, I was helping him build that, and it was going to be the zombie base, and we put Walking Dead stickers all over it, or printouts that he had printed out, and we glued them to it. Well, when he went to clear coat it, they peeled up. So he was pissed. He just threw the body aside. That's why I had that. That's why I got that body. Well, so I had a bass neck, and I had made a guitar out of that. So I went ahead and I built a skateboard bass. This is a Tony Alva Splash skateboard on the back right here. You unscrew them, it comes off, and you can see the electronics and everything. And the guitar stands alone without the back on it. It's stiff that way. The back doesn't have to be on it, you know. But just stole the output jack on it, so I'm gonna have to put that in before I can do a sound check on it. It's got a Carbon 1995 Carbon pickup that I had. It was just in the stuff. My brother played Carbon. Volume tone. So that's the bass. And works out where you can put your hand like right there. So there's the bass. It weighs 10 pounds. It's almost 10 pounds. It's heavy. It's spliced together. It's like pieced together stuff, you know. This was one I built out of a longboard. Guy named Cowboy, his longboard. This longboard had come down the Sandia Mountains before at like 70 miles an hour. I used to hang with these guys that race longboards down mountains. Anyway, this one was cut in half and screwed on each other. The concave area, I filled it in back here, you know, and just like that. It was hard to get it to stay together. I ended up having to zip a bunch of screws all the way around it and putting this plate on it to make it stiff enough. But because I ended up with a little bit flimsy. You can still grab it by this tail here and like that, and wow, it's like a wiggle stick. But I had a loaded pick guard, and I cut it and flipped it down here, and then, you know, because it's not as wide. This one was inspired by the Death Dagger. I call it Death Dagger because it's got that. You can sounds like a skateboard. So anyway, that's it. This one, and this was one of my favorites. I love playing a lot. Have been. It's cool. Sound. It's a cheap pickups. You know, there was about $35 for a pick guard with all the pots and everything in it. You know, and I might have paid $45 or something like that. But you know, put that pickup in there. it was the pickup that came out of that kit there, but I put Epiphone pickups in there that I bought, branded, and then so this pickup went right here, and it sounds good here. All of this one, this is the last one I built. Like I said, I gave one to my friend too. I built one, he gave me a skateboard, and I built it out of that. This was my latest one. And this was my brother's skateboard. I had records. I had it as a shelf of his records I inherited from him sitting on it. Well, I ended up building this guitar, and it's perfectly balanced. So it just sits in your lap perfect like that. You reach out and hold it like that, it kind of makes you laugh. It's like, damn, you know. You put it on a strap. I got my strap out here. I think, yeah. And it, I don't know, just some, you know, most of you guys, these are firewood, you know, but that's because you don't understand. Repurposing something is 150,000 times better than recycling something. So, you know. But, you know, you put this on the strap and like that, and you're like, man, just, yeah, I feel like I could duel any guitar player out there. It's all eyes on me. I mean, you'd be like, you command the stage with this. If one gets close, you can just jag them like that. You know. Come out 10 pounds. Like I just showed you, it's perfectly balanced. Use the bumpers from your trucks, skateboard trucks, as the knobs, made the knobs. Got a 5-way switch here. That's a Dylan Talks Tone Center Punch pickup. This is my best sounding single coil. I love it. It's a really good sounding single coil. It was a ceramic, and I pulled the ceramic magnet out, pulled the post out, and put a Lico 5 post in. And I don't know, it sounds great. I love modifying and building shit, so. So that's where I built this beast. It's 10 pounds, 5 foot, 1 inches tall. That's the Randy Rhodes polka dots. I had to put some polka dots on it. Got the tribute right here, the neck plate. I used 6 bolts, 6 screws, put it on. I used another bumper here to keep it from sliding out of your laps. And when it gets close to here, it starts going, it's gone. But there's all the guitars I built. Built 3 of them the first year of COVID. Like I said, I've just built that one. Just finished it. I couldn't figure out, I wanted to build a guitar out of that board, and I couldn't figure out what to build because I'd already built this. I built a Jazzmaster, I built a PRS, I built a Acoustasonic, a Telecaster, and a Stratocaster. So I'm like, what other one is there? You know, what is there? And, you know, and that first one was a Les Paul. So, when I thought about it, I go, I haven't built a Flying V or an Explorer. Well, Explorers don't, it's hard to do that with a skateboard guitar because you're working with something thin. The Explorer kind of needs to be thick to get that shape going. So I go, Flying V. And I just set in my head right then, I go, I'll do a Flying V. And then I start thinking, I go, I ain't going to cut any of that board off. I'm going to cut the V and just leave it on there. I wanted to leave the Dogtown. Oh shit! I wanted to leave the Dogtown intact. So I was gonna end up with my bridge like right here, whatever. And I slid everything up, and there's this empty spot right here, no graphics, pretty much. So I was like, that's perfect for the pickups and everything. Get the bridge to hit about right here, and the Dogtown will stay intact, you know. Then I end up, you know, this is what I come out with, man, and it's fun to play. It plays great. Just getting it set up, really, though. I mean, mahogany neck, 22 fret, mahogany neck, 24.5-inch scale lengths. All the other ones are 25 3/4 scale lengths. With most of them are 24 fret, except that one with the wall art now is a 21 fret, and then the Jazzmaster is 22 fret. Everything else is 24 fret. So there you have it. Like I said, I just, you know, I don't just started building skateboard guitars, and I couldn't stop. Now I'm out of skateboards now, so that might be my last one to build, because to buy the skateboards to do a guitar, you're going to spend $300-400 in skateboards. And that's a $200 skateboard right there, you know. And each, you know, they're all that long board over there that was, what's his name? You know, I said that was a Dregs, fucking $200 board or whatever. So it'd be expensive to build one of these guitars as a if I purchased the boards brand new or whatever, you know. So I used boards that I had, you know. So I built myself like 4 or 5 guitars out of boards I just had, you know. So uh, that's why I did it. I don't know why I did it, but I'm trying to learn to play guitar, but I need to get serious about that and dedicate myself to maybe taking some lessons, you know, and doing some because I'll just sit and play the same thing I know over and over instead of trying something I don't know how to do, which is it's frustrating to work on stuff you don't know how to do, you know. So I need to get disciplined and actually try to learn to play, man. You know, honor my brother a little bit there, maybe or something, you know. But there it is. Thanks for watching.